What's up, NASCAR racing fans? This is Ryan with NASCAR Authentic Views, and I'm back with another video. So this video is actually the video from when I went to the Coca-Cola 600 this last weekend. So that was pretty cool. The first day we went off, this was Saturday, the day before the Coca-Cola 600. We went over to Hendrick Motorsports. This is a very nice facility out there. Got to see the 48 and 88 shops, as you see there. Went inside there. They are normally not open on the Saturdays that we went or whatever, but because it was race weekend, they decided to extend the hours, which is pretty cool. So we got to see the cars. You see the 48 and the 88 there for display, so that's pretty cool to see the new 2017 cars, and of course the trophies that they had on the inside, various different trophies from this weekend's race, Dover and stuff like that. They had some cars from there. See some Coca-Cola 600 cars, or sorry, trophies there. See the cars they had in the shop. Also in the back, you can see some of the cars they had for future races. Some of them have, no decals on them. Some of them are getting primed and painted and stuff like that. So that was pretty cool to see. I wish they had somewhat, better viewing area. But also you see the fountain there for Rick Hendrick's family and engine builders and stuff like that from that plane crash they had. That was a memorial fountain for them. So that was kind of neat to see. And so we see the Casey Kane and Chase Elliott side of things. So of course see Chase Elliott's show car. Took a few cool pictures of that. And this side actually had a lot more cooler cars. So that is Jeff Gordon's Pepsi car with the Star Wars on front with Master Yoda. And you see there the cars that it raced. If you want to pause it there, you can and read that. So that was a pretty cool description. This is Terry Labonte's number 5 car. There's a description here as well. You can read that if you so choose to. So pretty cool stuff here. If you haven't been to Hendrick Motorsports, I guess shop area, I would suggest if you're around the Charlotte area and if they're open at the time, I would suggest going in it. They have several pretty cool cars and historical pieces. There's actually a car that Ricky Hendrick drove, and so that was pretty cool. I see stuff like that. I'm not sure what that car is. I don't remember that. I don't know if it was an actual car that was run. I just don't remember that paint scheme. Of course, you have here, this side is actually a little bit better on the 5 and 24 side of the race shop. There's 2 race shops for Casey Kane and Chase Elliott, and the other race shops for Dale Earnhardt Jr. and Jimmy Johnson. I feel like the Chase Elliott and Casey Kane side is a whole lot better. You can see a little bit more in the race shop and stuff like that. There you saw the fire suit for Chase Elliott's Darlington Throwback Weekend. That was pretty cool. And there's some of Jeff Gordon's trophies and Dale Earnhardt Jr.'s Daytona 500 win. So that was pretty cool to see that they had there. There's the chassis, and you can read that if you so want to. But yeah, so pretty cool to see that car. Of course, that is the original, car and stuff like that. I don't know if it's the original chassis or whatever, but pretty cool. So there's also Jimmy Johnson's Homestead Miami win. That was pretty cool to see, and Jeff Gordon's some of his Cup wins, 2001. And there is Jeff Gordon's Daytona 500 winner trophy. So that was pretty cool to see. Among some other trophies that are kind of recognizable, some of the Cup trophies, and there's a lot of die-cast. So they actually had a shelf full of die-cast throughout the year. Some very rare, and it was pretty cool to see those because those cars you don't really see very often. So it was very, very cool to see those. Yeah, you got to pick out ones like, man, I'd really like to have that one. I'd really like to have that one. And here we see Ken Trader's Budweiser car from the Talladega race. I believe this is, 1995, I believe. But, yeah, so that car is pretty torn up. If you haven't seen that video, it's pretty cool, pretty crazy. And the car went end over end at Talladega. And, very impressive that Ken Strader survived that crash. So you see Jimmy Johnson's commemorative car and his championship car as well. So those 2 cars are pretty cool. They did have some sheet metal here. You see Chase Elliott, some sheet metal for him, some sheet metal for Dale Earnhardt Jr. The sheet metal was actually for a pretty good price. I think the noses were $600, I believe, which really is not that bad. And some of the other sheet metal was $125 or so. Then you see Jeff Gordon's Jurassic car, and I believe that right there was his Indy 500 car. So he has some pretty cool cars there. That Indy 500 car is just now getting produced, and I believe this is his brickyard car, I believe it was. So that was pretty cool to see some historical cars there. Was pretty cool. Chase Elliott's fire suit and helmet you see here, along with the pit sign. So yeah, this is actually the Hendrick Museum. It's on the other side, and on the way back to the campsite, we actually passed by a Hooters, and they had a show car there for Chase Elliott, so that was kind of neat to see. And you see there with the digital dash. Most times the show cars will not have the digital dash, so that was kind of cool to actually see that. I did pick up some cars from Hendrick Motorsports, and those were the two. And that leads us on to day number 2. The Coca-Cola 600 weekend. So we actually showed up probably around 1 or 2 o'clock. It was kind of later than we wanted to, but we were pretty tired from the night before, and it was just a little bit of a drive. I think it was a 45-minute drive here. We went over to the Toyota station and saw Mr. Denny Hamlin. That was pretty cool, and so forth. So there you go. Him signing some autographs. I actually did get his autograph. I got him to sign the program book. You see there, got his autograph right across the car there in silver Sharpie. So that was pretty awesome. And then we went over to the other side and saw Mr. Harrison Burton for the driving number 51 of the Truck Series, and also Daniel Suarez. So that was pretty cool to see both of those drivers. I actually ended up getting Daniel Suarez's autograph as well. So pretty awesome to have that. You see that in the bottom with the black Sharpie. I wanted to get that in silver Sharpie as well, but it didn't work out. And there you go. You see who's it? Davey Allison, with his car that Tony Stewart threw back to. And yes, the haulers. So the haulers are back, if you haven't seen. And so that's pretty cool that the haulers are back. And there you go, Jimmy Johnson's car. We're just kind of rolling through some pictures right now because it's a pretty long video. I want to make sure to get to all of it. So yeah, so it's one picture after another, I know. But there you go, the main entrance for the Coca-Cola 600. Went in there, there's a little gift shop on the inside. And here we go for our tickets. These are not the seats that I went to. I just kind of went up to the top. And I got a panoramic view right there, so that's pretty cool to see the whole track there. And actually made my way down to the infield and got onto the track, and there you see the grandstands on the outside. So that was pretty cool, actually being able to go down to the track. This is the first time I've really been able to go down to the pit area for a NASCAR race. I did in Martinsville, go down onto the track, not into the pits area, but onto the track. I did have entrance for that, so that was kind of cool at Martinsville. But this is more in depth. I actually got to go onto the area with the pit boxes and stuff like that, see the cars a whole lot better than at Martinsville. So pretty cool. So you see Jimmy Johnson's pit box, and yeah, so very awesome. Some of the tires support our troops' tires. So I do like those tires, and I do support our troops very much. So thank you to all of those. And so there you see Joey Logano's special paint scheme for the Coca-Cola 600. That was pretty cool to see. So there you saw Austin Dillon's car getting rolled into the pit area, so that was kind of cool to see. The winner car, so I could not really see a better car to go into victory lane, other than maybe Chase Elliott, but we all know what happened to him like 20 laps in. So yeah, so also got to see Chase Elliott's car rolling into the pits. So that car looks really good. Originally was not that fond of the 2017 paint scheme with the yellow accents, but the more I see it, the more I love it. That car just looks phenomenal now, and I'm really a fan of that design and the yellow accents. The way they added more yellow to it really makes it pop out a lot more on track. So some other cars, some other Patriot style cars, Trevor Bayne's car, Tony Stewart's car. So pretty awesome to see them. And yeah, so as we roll along, we see Eric Jones, number 77 car. So Martin Truex Jr., Kyle Larson. So just really, a lot of cars that we got to see, so it's pretty awesome. Danica Patrick right there in the number 10, code 3. Yeah, so we knew the weather was going to be bad towards the end of the race. I believe it was. There was thunderstorms in the area for the night, but yeah, so that was Jimmy Johnson's car. But yeah, like I was saying, we knew that thunderstorms were going to be coming in late at night, but we were just gonna really hope it didn't rain. There you see Michael Waltrip on the grid. So I got a really quick picture there. So it wasn't the best picture. He wasn't exactly ready for it, but I asked him and made sure that he was cool with it, and I took a picture real quick. So that was the one really quick picture that I got with a driver, or former driver, current announcer. And there you see Victory Lane. And so halfway through, choppers kind of flew through, so that was kind of cool. So that was really quite awesome to see. You could actually see the guys on the inside in that turret area. They actually kind of they just sat there, had the turrets, and they were waving at us as they went by. So it was pretty cool. They were really close to the stands, going right along the track and going around the track. So that was pretty cool to see. There you see there in the national anthem. And the Jets going over as the national anthem played, so that was pretty cool to see as well. And some pretty cool shots there as it went over.
We'll start dead last. The number 42. Larson. Could not get his car. And if you are new in the motorsport, watch number.
So there you go, the cars rolled by, and the restart should be up here before too long. So there you see the front row and the first four positions there. There's Dale Earnhardt Jr.'s car there. So a pretty cool paint scheme on the number 88 car, and yeah, so it was cool to see one of Dale Earnhardt Jr.'s last race, the last race I'll see him race in. Fortunately, he made a top 10, so that was pretty cool. Yeah, so.
The lights are on. Here we go.
And for the call to start the Coca-Cola 600 is my privilege to call the of 2018 leading down low. Here comes Rowdy Bush up top. Chase Elliott taking right in there. Kyle Busch is going to pull to the outside of Kevin Harvick. Now wheel to three. Here they are coming down for the first time on turn number 4.
So that was really cool. Probably the fastest track I've been to thus far in recent years. I went to Martinsville and Richmond the past 2 years, so yeah, definitely the fastest track I've been to. Still a mile and a half, but pretty cool to hear the rumble and see the cars as they went by. So you see some pictures that I took throughout the time of the early race. So you see Kurt Busch, Denny Hamlin.
Coming out on left, Elliott immediately evacuating the Napa Chevrolet. Oh, a sour run for these two shot drivers. that had such a good shot to make something happen today. It all started when Smokey and Swerving at the 33 of Jeffrey Earnhardt. Here's the replay. Kyle Busch underneath Earnhardt. There must have been something on the to the let go. Right here, down to the double goal. Kyle Busch is by now.
Yeah, and needless to say, I was pretty ticked. So hence the bad camera work. I was trying to record and look to see what was going on at the same time. But yeah, it was really unfortunate that Chase Elliott got taken out so long. So there you go, the clouds started rolling in, and this is when the weather kind of started to change.
While I'm standing here.
Yeah, so it's pretty unfortunate that we'd have to stop the race and go seek shelter for the thunderstorms and the rain. The rain actually came down pretty hard. So yeah, I just kind of went up to the top because, you know, down on the inside it was really, really packed. So it was actually kind of cool to see those jet tires and go to work to kind of see how they actually worked. It was pretty cool. They just kind of pushed air and pushed the water down the track. The next one would pick it up. And yeah, so the rain actually finally stopped, and the skies kind of cleared up.
Have done their job, and the drivers now begin pushing around the
we start getting into the latter part of the race. So it's pretty cool. Pretty cool pictures they got here, and yeah, so get some restarts in.
And the 3 cars has returned to victory lane in NASCAR's Top Series. And I believe he doesn't have enough fuel to do a burnout. Winding it down. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls of all ages, you have just seen history at Charlotte Motor Speedway. The number 3 Chevrolet has returned to victory lane.
So that was pretty cool to see the 3 car in victory lane for the first time since the death of Dale in 2001. So yeah, a very awesome race, and I'm definitely ordering that diecast. If you see right here, before too long, we'll see. I did get, they did put it in the pre-orders already, and I pre-ordered pretty awesome. Pretty early is what I meant to say.
But all those years riding back and forth across the country with his grandfather and dreaming about something like this, and it's now happened. And he talked about when this kid was born and what it all meant to that family, who started out, remember, Richard Childress selling popcorn at the Bowman Gray Stadium and dreaming that someday he would have a great racing team.
So yeah, I actually did make that pre-order, so I'm probably going to get it in 1/24 scale diecast. You see right there, and I'm probably going to get a 1/64 scale diecast to go along. It's pretty awesome that they are offering it in the 1/64 scale, because not all of them get produced in the 1/64 scale, so that's pretty awesome. And yeah, so there you see the render for it, and courtesy of Diecast Jarv, I believe it was, so courtesy of him on Instagram. So yeah, overall, pretty awesome race, and a couple reasons why I definitely wanted to get that diecast is not only because it was a first-time winner, but it was the number 3 car. First time the number 3 car has been in victory lane, such a legendary number for a car. And for that reason, and so also, it was a race that I attended, and I would have liked to get Carl Edwards' win at Richmond from last year, but that car is kind of hard to find now. But yeah, so a very awesome race, and I would definitely suggest going to Charlotte Motor Speedway for the Coca-Cola 600. If you get the opportunity, we'll definitely see how it goes next year for the fall race whenever they turn it into a road course. We'll see how that goes. In my opinion, it was kind of weird they put the first road course, or I guess Roval, as they call it, at Charlotte. I would have thought they would have done Daytona first, maybe, because that's kind of larger. It's kind of a larger track for a road course. See how it works out then maybe move on to Charlotte. But nevertheless, that's how they're going to do it. And I think it'll be very interesting, so it'll be pretty cool to see it in the stands. I won't be there, but more than likely. But I believe it'll be pretty cool for the fans, because they can actually see the whole track or most of the track anyways. I don't know what they're going to do with the haulers and stuff like that and all the stuff in the infield, because they kind of have to move that kind of stuff out, not only for viewing purposes, but also because of safety hazards and just space. So yeah, so that is the comprehensive review of the Coca-Cola 600 that I went to. So that was pretty awesome, and thank you guys for watching, and look forward to the review of the diecast that I got there and the items that I got here, including autographs, hero cards, diecast. So yeah, thank you guys for watching. This is NASCAR Authentics Reviews, signing out. Take care, guys.